Steve, go ahead.
Hello, thanks for taking time to talk with us this afternoon. I want to ask, it's a rare occurrence where you're getting to play a team back to back. I wonder what things you've kind of taken from reviewing the last game and how you guys are feeling going into the game this week against Orlando.
Yeah, I think obviously not winning or losing means that probably I'm sure both teams came away thinking that there was things that they did well, but things that they could have got better at, done better in the game. That was exactly how our mindset was. We were frustrated at the end of the game on Sunday that we didn't feel we'd played particularly well in our standards. Watching it back, we probably did. We were really close to doing some really good things. So that's been our focus and mindset all week is continue with the good things that we did in the game and just tidy up on a couple of areas. But the mindset of the group is in a good spot and excited for tomorrow.
Thanks, Steve. And then we'll go over to Tim.
Hi, Laura.
Hey,
I'm
Tim.
wondering what this week has been like for you and the team, kind of staying in Orlando. What's the training kind of been like this week? Have you been able to do any sort of team kind of building activities that maybe you don't normally get to do if you're at home
Mm-hmm.
for a week like this?
Yeah, it's been great. We actually changed hotels yesterday. We're actually staying in Disney right now. I've never been to Disney, so that's been fun. Um, so just a little change of scenery halfway through the week has been good. Same with training. We trained at University of Central Florida at the start of the week. We've been training at Orlando City's facility the last couple of days. I think that's helped with like breaking the week up a little bit. And honestly, the biggest thing that has been going on outside of football and preparation is we've had a big contingency of people playing code names, which I'd never played the game before. But it's been great, actually. It's been really fun. Staff and players have been involved. There's been some few controversial games, which we'll not go into right now. But yeah, it's been enjoyable, and we're really excited about tomorrow now.
Thanks, Tim. And then we'll go over to Lee.
Hey, Laura, can you talk about some of the individual players' performances from last weekend and particularly Jordan Bug? I felt like she was on another level of like she stepped up from her own game, almost to the point where she was very brave in the backfield, I felt.
Hmm.
Is that just, can you go on about how that played out?
Yeah, I thought Jordan was very good, very composed, took the pressure when it came towards her and either dribbled around it, passed through it, accepted it, which is something that we've worked a lot on is enticing and accepting pressure. That's what we want to try and do. And I thought she did a brilliant job of that. Obviously came up again with a big goal, which she's done a few times this season. Um, and yeah, I think it wasn't really about too many individual performances. It was just a collective way in which, I think we defended solidly. We didn't give too much up to Orlando. Claudia didn't have to make too many big saves, which was good. We just felt on the other end we gave a couple of chances up that we could have turned from like half chances into really big chances. Um, so that's sort of been the mindset. So yeah, I thought Jordan was excellent as well.
Thanks, Lee. And then we'll go to Steve.
Looking at the team's fitness, you're at about probably as good health as you're going to be as of
Yep.
last week, at least. Any updates or news on that front since
We're
last
all
week? Or?
we're all good, which is great. That's all you want going into obviously a big game like it is tomorrow. Is there's no real change in anyone's health and fitness. It's everyone's trending positively. Obviously, Lynn is someone everyone knows about now, and Cassie is still returning from her injury. But outside of that, everyone else is great.
Great. And then I have one question kind of on a bigger picture NWSL topic. There's
Hmm.
been some discussion around the league in the last 2 weeks over trans athletes and inclusivity in the league and uh, basically just, I wonder, as one of the few coaches in the league who's had a trans player on your roster,
Yep.
if you could share any kind of thoughts on how you feel about this bigger conversation going on in the league right now.
Yeah, I just think from our club's perspective, from the moment the club was started in beginning of 2013, we've always had a mindset that we want anyone to come into our locker room and feel comfortable being who they are, whether that be the country they're from, their nationality, their sexuality, their religious beliefs, whether they're a transgender athlete, it doesn't matter. In our locker room, everyone we want to feel is included, feels safe, feels like they have a voice and that they can be themselves. That's something that I think this club specifically has been really passionate about ever since day one. And whether that be we need to go out and really speak about something that we care about, whether that be that we just make sure that we take care of people internally. That's always been the mindset of our club. And I think first and foremost, no matter what anyone thinks or believes, harassment in any fashion is just unacceptable in any walk of life, in my opinion. It's okay for people to have an opinion or have different views than someone else, but to make other people feel in a negative way about who they are is just unacceptable and something that in our club we just don't tolerate and never have. And obviously I've seen a lot of what's that globally or especially around the league have come out and said, and I think that from a Rain perspective, we've always lived through those values and really, really care about that. I thought the Angel City players, when they came out and spoke at the press conference, Sarah Gordon specifically, I thought they handled that brilliantly. To speak from, an internal issue that was happening at their club, I thought they spoke fantastically. And I think that's something that is really maybe unique about women's sport is there's a real care factor around how we treat people. And it doesn't mean that, things haven't happened that maybe haven't lent into those values. But anytime that's happened and it's come to light, the outcome has always been that there's a big push behind the narrative that we're here for everybody and we want people to feel safe and feel that they can be themselves. And I feel very lucky that I work for a club that has lived that value ever since it started.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. And then Lee again.
Back to individual players, Jess. I feel like she's a real lightning rod. Do you see her in this big game, do or die game? Do you see her as that power sub again or playing longer? Or can you even talk about that?
I'm not going to give too much away, but, in big games, big players step up. And I think one thing we know with our squad, and we've shown it all season, is what we look like at the start of the game, we're probably not going to look like at the end of the game. And players know that. I think they understand that. Then they buy into that. And, there's no player in our locker room, maybe outside of Lou, who's been in as many big moments for this club as Jess. And the two of them, are very passionate about making sure that everyone knows what their roles are. Everyone feels comfortable in doing what they have to do, because I think they understand that if everyone feels that way, we can go out and perform at the best level possible. And there's no doubt that in big games, you look to someone like Jess Fishlock, there's no doubt in my mind. She trusts the process of what we try to do, and she educates the younger players who haven't maybe experienced this before on what it's like and what it takes. So yeah, I mean, lightning rod, whatever it might be, big players stand up in big moments, and Jess is definitely that.
Thanks, Lee. And then we'll close with Tim.
Laura, she's been obviously around and playing for a long time, but for Marta to do what
Tim, we lost your audio for a
her
second.
play, what stands out about her ability to still be as effective as she is at this point of her career?
Yeah, I mean, she's been one of the best players in the world for as long as we've ever seen her, and I think I've got a lot of respect for what she's given the game. I hope she has an off night tomorrow or just sits on the bench the whole time. That would be great. But no, huge respect for everything that she's achieved in the game. I was lucky enough to do some TV work last year at the final, and witnessing her winning the championship, how she was celebrated by her teammates. Her mum was there. I don't think her mum had ever seen her play in America before. I mean, it was really special. And you just have to credit everything that she's done, not just on the field too. I think she's been a big advocate for things off the field, especially obviously in a native country in Brazil, and pushing the boundaries on making women's football more important than maybe it was held when she first started playing. And then, I mean, on the field, some of the things that she can do and continues to do, top class, and I think last year, Banda got a lot of the credit, and rightly so, for Orlando's successes. But it's without doubt the best season I'd ever seen Marta play in this league. And I think she's had a few little niggly knocks this year. But there was no doubt she was one of the best players on the field last weekend. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow she just has an off night.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.